Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our newest installment of our Star Wars Out in the Dark episodes of character introductions. My guest today and our newest member of the crew is a recent graduate of the Florida International University's theater department. He is an actor, a director, and a certified robotics engineer as far as pools are concerned, according to him. So if you need your pool calibrated for whatever robot you need to dip in there, he's your man. He is a co-host of the Have Half Doubled podcast. He is young and brash, and sometimes that can get him into trouble. But everybody, please welcome Brandon Urrutia to the campaign.
You're gonna get me in so much trouble.
Not at all. Certified robotics engineer right here, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon, what do you want to tell people? What do you want to give away about ED-57?
They're just here to learn how to have a good time.
I think that is what everybody's here for. So normally,
anything else we're gonna figure out.
Normally, excuse me, with the other two players and what I am assuming with the next members of the crew, I've gone back in time to before they joined the campaign to kind of show who they are and what kind of character we can assume is joining the crew of the Neverwhere. And so I've gone back a couple of years at most. With you, I'm going to go back a century. I'm going to go back 100 plus years to a golden age of the Republic.
Okay.
It has been almost 20 years as you have been learning from this Jedi Master named Jethrek Kiln. He is a master by reputation, but he is not a master in title. He has remained a Jedi Knight, even though he took you on when he was younger and more brash than he is now. And though he has kind of smoothed out the metal that he is made out of in the forging process of life, he is still prone to quick thought and gut instinct over meditation and the Force. You have been sent out to this new system that has just been plotted. It's an older system that has been part of the Republic for some time, but the new hyperspace lane that takes you to it needs some protection, as it is still new, and pirates and privateers care very little for laws out in the Outer Rim. So, Master Kiln and his apprentice, a very somber and excited sounding droid named ED-57, or Eedee to their friends, has joined them on his run of protecting cargo, sensitive cargo, destined to the planet of Bakura, or Bakura. The crew of this rather shoebox-shaped ship is motley, to say the least. There's 3 humans and a Gamorrean. The Gamorrean looks old, like they shouldn't be doing this, least of all to such a dangerous kind of outing. They have a bit of a white beard that kind of comes down to just the top of their sternum. The three humans are all male, and they all have a passing familial resemblance to each other. But as you approach, following your master in tow, they kind of nod and they motion to the Gomorian, and the captain steps forward, nods at the Coin Knight master, and completely ignores you, and just like, she'll be ready to go by the hour's end, sir. It's nothing major that we're looking at. Just making sure she's tip top shape. He nods. He's like, I am in no hurry. We will go when we need to go. I trust in the Force. Come along, Eedee.
Okay.
And sure enough, you see one of the other humans kind of looks at you as you walk by, shakes his head, and then you barely hear the comment that is made as you're walking up the ramp, but you do hear something about droids are bad luck.
I think I'm gonna take that in. I'm just gonna take that in.
Okay. So you see the Coin Knight male is tall. He's about 6'6". He's got a ridged forehead, a top knot, very samurai-esque. And even his armor is layered in a very samurai-esque kind of lacquered wood feel. He wears his lightsaber openly on his belt. Doesn't really have the traditional Jedi robes. He prefers the classic kind of leather duster that is very of his upbringing, and it is sleeveless and made of leather, some kind of hide from a creature you've only heard him ever talk about in awe of, and rarely ever gives you enough to research. But it is something on his home planet that both frightens and amazes him.
Okay.
But you see him kind of go and sit on a small chair off to the side in the cargo containment. And he just kind of looks out to the courtyard where they're fumbling with the repulsor lift that is supposed to bring in the cargo. What would you like to do?
Now we're not. Just remind me, we're not on the ship. We're in a docking bay waiting for cargo to come in.
He stepped onto the ship. Like, he's actually on the ship itself. The landing platform that you were on is just outside and on the southern edge of the temple, the Jedi temple on Ossus.
Okay.
It is a forestral planet. It is mild and very nice kind of temperature. Rains here and there. It has been known to snow on some of the colder occasions, but it is not a terrible place to live one way or the other. It's not incredibly hot. It's not incredibly freezing. It's kind of like living in Kansas. So he sits down on a chair off to the side in the cargo containment of the ship. that's called the dented bolt, and he kind of just looks out at the courtyard, kind of scoffs at them, dealing with the repulsor lift. What would you like to do?
Master, should we offer our assistance with unloading the cargo?
That's up to you entirely. No good with computers. I'll let the experts handle it. It's their ship. It's their sled.
I will offer my assistance.
Yeah, you do that then.
Hello. Can I offer you my assistance?
One of the humans looks up at you, is like, you're not, you don't look like you're programmed to handle repairs. You know anything about what we're doing here?
I'm assuming it is repulsor lift repairing.
I mean, yeah, that's the end goal. Sure.
Well, I do have some specialization in repulsor lift repairing.
All right. He hands you over his spanner, and he kind of steps away from the console, and he's like, "All right, then, have at it. Let's see what you got." So
I rolled a 24.
you did roll a 24. The green box, by the way, around your roll,
Yeah.
that represents that your wild die has exploded. If it if it has a red box around it, that means it's the opposite, and you've rolled a 1 on your wild die.
Awesome.
So, just get ready for that, because I'm watching for those.
Good to know.
So, sure enough, they hand you the spanner. You look at the circuit board. You reach out with, and as you kind of touch it, you can sense the connection through the electromagnetic field of the engine, the earth, and the two bodies of metal kind of touching. And you realize that the spanner is the reason that they're still trying to fix this machine. It is not a need for the spanner in particular, but it is a need for you to rewire some of the fuses that they've kind of knocked out of balance with their heavy-handed approach to fixing this thing. And after a few minutes of you just rewiring things and pushing things back where they belong, with a satisfying click, you see the sled suddenly hum to life, and it just starts to lift itself up off the ground to where it's almost a good 8 inches off the ground now. And you see the human that handed you the spanner just kind of like wipes his brow, looks at you, is like, "I'll be damned. I've been working on this thing for years, and it's always giving us a fuss. And yeah, you come in here and just touch it."
Yes, well, the fuses were out of place. Some things require a delicate touch rather than a rough hand.
A delicate touch. That's what I keep telling them. And you hear one of the other ones, "You ain't told us nothing of the sort. Get your ass on the ship. We're leaving."
All right.
One of the other ones just kind of like takes the controls of the sled and just starts pushing it up the ramp into the cargo hold. Your master just kind of stands there as they bring the cargo in. He just gives you a soft kind of double clap and just steps back into the rest of the ship with a, "I'd like to know where my room is, please." And sure enough, with the one that handed you the spanner kind of walks around you. He's like, I have it on the manifest that you wanted 2 rooms. Is there a reason for that? Uh, I only see the one to use. Or are we waiting for somebody else?"
No, it is I.
He stops dead in his tracks as you pipe up, and then he looks back at the master and he's just like, you wanted a separate room for your droid? Can he just linger out here and come? The fuck is that?
I think that's how they laugh.
That's how you're gonna laugh.
They're gonna
No.
laugh.
So, yeah, your character is gonna have a very short lifespan.
Ah, you say that, but I love them with all my heart.
Okay. So he looks at you, confused for a moment, and then he looks back at the master and he starts laughing too. And he's like, "Oh, that's a good joke. That's a good joke. Um, so should we wait for whoever's coming with you, or?" And you just see the Coin Knight stop and just let out a heavy sigh, and he's just like, "No, the room is for the droid." And then the guy just kind of looks over at you really slowly. He's just like, "Oh, nah, I've seen everything. All right, well, come along this way. Rooms are off here to the starboard side." And as he takes you over and shows you where the 2 rooms are, which are opposite on either side of the hallway of each other, you can feel the ship's repulsor lift engines kick on, and it starts to push off the gravity of the world and up into the air. And there's this strange sensation that you're still not used to of you being pulled away from an electromagnetism of one world into the void of all the worlds kind of trying to touch each other, and just the soft caresses of all these worlds spanning the cosmos around you. And it has never really dawned on you that no one else feels this way. That no one on this ship in particular will ever feel that pull, almost like the reverse of jumping into a pool. Um, there's there's a sensation as the moons that orbit Ossus, the other planets of the system, are all trying to just caress you with their magnetic pull, and it's still new to you, still something
Mm-hmm.
that you don't think you'll ever really get used to. Um, and after about a half hour, once you're out of the system, you feel all of it suddenly go quiet again as you jump into hyperspace. And now, to you, everything feels disconnected. Only the humming of the ship and the power surging through every corner and edifice and just wall, excuse me, is the only connection you have to what's outside of the chassis and what's outside of the room and what's outside of the ship, because you're traveling so far so fast in a shadow of what the universe really is, that this is one of the most jarring moments since you were first discovered and since you were first kind of disconnected. Every hyperspace jump is a little reminder of that day. But the hyperspace jump is only going to take 18 hours. So you have the whole run of the ship at your control. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go annoy my master
Yep.
like a proper Padawan.
Sure enough, the you open the door to your room out into the hallway, and you can see that his door is open. You can see that he's sitting on the floor, uh, legs crossed, and just eyes closed, and the lightsaber is floating in midair in front of him. And you see that it's currently being reassembled. You can hear clicking noises. You can hear the metal grinding against metal as it's setting back into place.
I'm gonna wait for him to finish reassembling it.
Sure enough, you stop hearing the clicking noises and the sliding noises, and before you can say something, you see his hand reach out and wrap itself around his lightsaber hilt. And as it does, you just hear very softly, "You know, when you stand there, it makes me feel creeped out."
My apologies, master. Is your saber all right?
He ignites it, and you hear that familiar click hum of that weapon that you dread using, because it
Mhm.
is it is the staple of what a Jedi is. But you hear it just kind of humming as it moves through the air. Just his green blade illuminates the room, and he shuts it off with that familiar sound, and he pushes himself up to his feet, and he's like, "Yeah, yeah, a good lightsaber is worth everything in the field."
Well, I'm glad you're performing routine checkups on your saber.
Mm.
Uh, I would also like to take this as a moment to thank you once again for allowing me to join you on this exhibition and delivery of cargo.
Well, it's not by choice, but you're here, so maybe you can learn
Yes,
something from this.
I am always learning.
Yeah. So you say, and you see him just kind
I
of
do.
walk by you. And as he does, you see him kind of not forcibly push his way past you, but he does kind of grab you by the sides of the shoulders and just shift you to one side, uh, and step around you.
I am so glad to have Master support me in my endeavors. And then I just follow him.
Okay. He's like, "Yeah, yeah, uh, you You'll make something of yourself at some point. I'm sure of it. But he goes into the common area,
Is
and you
it
see him kind of sit down on the couch.
is there anything that you know about the planet that we are delivering to that we should be aware of?
Bakura? Uh, no. Uh, it's been dealing with its own things, but you know, hasn't escalated to the point of having Jedi intervention.
Then, if I may ask, what is the nature of our trip to Bakura?
Well, as you saw when the shipment was brought in, we're protecting that cargo, making sure that it makes it to Bakura.
And what is the importance of the cargo?
As far as I know, nothing. It's just small arms, some dried fruits and vegetables to easy to transport, things like that. Honestly, it's just a trap. I'm hoping something stops us.
D- did you say trap?
That's what I said. The council set
So
all
we
of this
are
up
set us up for what exactly?
to capture whoever is trying to pirate these lanes.
So we are bait.
In a sense, yes. We are here to make sure that if there is any piracy, we stop it.
I see.
Good.
Sir?
Nods at you.
Hold on, I had a question and now it's gone.
Okay. Yeah. Were you not expecting to be bait?
No, I was. I completely forgot what the question I was about to ask him was.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So
I
after a moment of him kind of looking at some of the Hollow News and cycling through different kind of updates on what's going on in the galaxy, he excuses himself and goes back to his room, and he closes the door this time. The two humans who were fiddling around with the sled are playing a game of chess, the holographic
Mhm.
chess that you might have seen on a little movie called A New Hope.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that film.
Oh, okay. It's a good indie film. Came out not
Is
too
it
long
is it the
ago.
same? Is it the same hollow chess that's in that really popular film, The Last Jedi?
No, I don't think the Last Jedi had any hollow chess in it. Um,
Yeah, it did. Or was it The Rise of Skywalker?
Might have been Rise of Skywalker. I've tried to block
Rise of
both of them
Skywalker?
out of my head. Uh, Such a travesty. But you see them playing, and the Gamorrean's kind of just observing, but at the same time, he keeps snorting what you imagine are uh, kind of pump up phrases, like hyping one over the other.
Okay.
You're just not sure which one he's rooting for.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there. That sounds fun. I love a good game of tactics.
Yeah. Yep. So, sure enough, as you walk over to the game, you see that what would be considered the nicer of the two, who was the one that handed you the spanner, he currently has 7 pieces left to his brother's 10.
Okay.
So it is safe to say that he, given his current track record, is going to lose this game.
Can I see like any opportunity that he would have to win?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and make a tactics roll, since that's something that you actually have.
19.
19. As you look at the board splayed out before you, as you look at the pieces that have been eaten or killed off, and given your rudimentary knowledge of the game, there is a 3-move. A 3-move execution that he could pull off to win the game. But it would require his brother to be a complete idiot and not see the combination playing out.
I would like to like whisper that to him. like I'm just gonna pawn to e6. I know it's not pawn.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of chess videos lately.
Sure. I mean, the Queen's Gambit is a big popular show right now. So he looks up at you. At your long droid face with that somber look. And then he looks down at the board. And he looks back up at you. He's like, that accomplishes fuck all. Well, what am I supposed to do once I move there?
Have a small bit of faith in the next move.
He looks over at the board again and he's like, I mean, fuck it. At this point, I've lost the last 5 games in a row. So he motions the controls, and you see the lumbering kind of pawn shift over to the square that he wanted to get him into, and he just turns to face the oncoming horrors of his brother's army. And you hear his brother just like, that is the stupidest move. I have no idea why you just put that motherfucker there, but I'm gonna go this way instead. And sure enough, he eats one of his other characters on the board.
Is he playing into the idea that I am into the path that I'm following, or against it?
Oh no, he has no idea what's going on. He's just playing the game to play the game. So what he has taken out is not any of the 3 that you need to move. So,
perfect.
The other brother's like,
Rook
what the
to
fuck is perfect?
D5.
What is perfect about having? I could have lost that. Like I could have saved that character from death, and now you want me to move
Rook
another
to? Yes. I am a Padawan of the Jedi Order. Please trust me in my knowledge.
You see him reluctantly typing the controls, and the character that would be the Rook just shifts over like this very large slug and just slithers into position. And the combination of the 2 pieces where they are destroys another one of the pieces on the board. And you hear the brother, "Well, fuck that! How'd you pull that off? Where was that move from? I've never seen that." And the one that helped you looks up at you. He's like, "Yeah, how'd those two pieces work like that?"
That's called the Gamorrean trifle, developed first by Sistis the Sixth on Tatooine.
They look at each other for a moment, and then sorry, the brother that helped you looks up and he's like, "Fuck, let's see where this goes." The other brother is just like shifts one of his pieces to what would be considered a defensive maneuver, uh,
Mhm.
and kind of gets in the way of one of the things. But it's just the fact that he
I got
didn't
it in one.
the fact that he didn't stop the maneuver from the get. There's no stopping it now. And so it comes back to the brother that you're helping. And he's just like, "All right, well, I don't see a way to win. He's blocked off. He's blocked off that pawn real good."
Knight to b6, and that is checkmate.
He doesn't even hesitate. He puts in the command, and sure enough, you see the winged serpent that represents the knight just kind of like shift over into its position. And then there's a moment where the board checks all the pieces, and then you see that it automatically gives the game to the brother you helped win. And
Perfect.
the other brother's just like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! How exactly did you win?" And then it shows on the board that there's no place for his king to move, that is safe from any assault from these pieces.
And that final maneuver is considered the Rancor Rampage.
And the one that you help kind of stands up and he just clears the board. He's like, "That's the first win of many. Let me tell you what. You are not winning this game anymore."
Now, if you want to combat the Rancor Rampage, you would simply move this piece to this other location,
see,
thus nullifying.
As you're about to give away the secret of the Rancor's rampage, you suddenly feel this pulse of energy kind of shock you. And as it does, you feel that jolt as the ship drops out of hyperspace. And both of them are kind of like confused by it, and you see them kind of the other brother gets up as well, and they both go running towards the cockpit. From the hallway leading to the rooms, you see the door open to your master's bedroom, and he kind of runs out with the lightsaber in hand, off but still in hand. And he walks over to one of the wall panels, the comm units, and he hits it. He's just like, "Captain, what's going on? Why do we drop out of hyperspace?" And over the loudspeaker, you hear, "Yeah, we're experiencing some technical difficulties up here. I'd prepare you all to be boarded if I were you. We got issues."
Did our bait successfully be caught?
Your master looks over you. He's like, I think we did, and I think it's time that we paid these pirates their just desserts." And as he says that, you hear and you feel the ship jolt, and you can feel the pulse flowing through the ship of a tractor beam. And
Okay.
as you come to a stop, you can hear two different thunks against the hull of the ship, and then you see that there is a light that comes on above the main kind of area, the main kind of common area, and you see a small ladder descend from the roof as uh, a doorway that you didn't see before, kind of outlines itself, and you see it open, and beyond them you can see that there's been a tunnel or some kind of tube that leads to whatever ship has tractor beamed you, and you can see people coming down. Um, and as the first body kind of descends, it pulls a blaster pistol on you, and it just like
Okay.
the human that is wielding it, you see, kind of looks around, is got the gun trained on your master more than you. But there is a moment where he kind of like swivels the gun back and forth, but then he keeps it trained on your master. The second person to come down is a Wookiee, and as it looks around, it gutturally roars out its orders, and then you see it kind of start to make its way towards the cargo containment. And as it does that, you see your master, who has now hidden his right hand where the lightsaber is, behind his back, and he holds out his left hand. He's like, "No, no, hold on there. We don't mean you any harm, and we don't know what this is about." The human shakily holds up his gun, and he's like, "Get back, get back. This isn't about you, old man." And without hesitation,
And what is this about?
as you chime in, you hear the familiar click hum, and the green
Oh,
blade
okay.
just arcs
Clear.
around and comes forward in this beautiful kind of geometric dragon shape, and just cuts the blaster in half, and the human just recoils in fear, and as he does, he trips over one of the ottomans that was there holding you up, and you hear the Wookiee kind of stop and turn around, and as it does, your master's kind of up on in his face, holding the lightsaber up to its face. Uh,
Uh, we're currently in the Grand Republic, correct?
yes, yeah, you are Republic.
I just wanted to make sure, like, the proper title. Like, it's the this would be by order of the Grand Republic and the Jedi and the Jedi Temple, or
The Jedi
what would it be?
Council.
Like, what would and okay.
Yeah.
Now that we have your attention, by order of the Grand Republic and the Jedi Council, we are ordering you to elaborate on your business of piracy in this sector.
You hear your master.
And then I will also just like ignite my lightsaber,
And just hold it out,
which I assume like
arm's length.
I assume it just like pops out of like my leg, and I just like lift it out.
Sure, RoboCop.
I have no idea where my fucking lightsaber is. Can we do that? Can that be it?
Yeah.
Where it's held
Yeah, sure.
in my RoboCop leg?
In your RoboCop leg.
All right, cool.
So yeah, you hear your master just kind of grab the Wookiee's kind of fur near its chest, and he's just like, "Make a move, furball. Give me a reason." And
I think that's racist.
the human looks over at you and at the coin knight, and he's just like, we weren't looking for trouble. We were just sent down to get the cargo, and that's it. There's no need for any of this. And you hear from the tube, Skylar, what's wrong? And then you hear the boy, "We got Jedis. There's Jedis down here." And a moment passes, and you see your master kind of look over at the human, and as he's about to say something, you see two small little orbs about the size of a human fist just kind of drop, tunk tunk, one right after the other, and then bounce with successive tunks, and as they roll,
I want to force push him back into the hallway.
who
the two orbs. I'm assuming they're like grenades.
They look like grenades. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna force push him back into the hallway.
Into the back up into the tube.
I don't know why I imagine it coming off of the side. It's coming up from above.
Yeah.
All right, then yeah, I'm just gonna force push him back up.
All right. Let's roll your altar and let's see what happens.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's an 8.
That's an 8.
Oh, I don't know what's
Yeah.
good and what's bad.
Yeah. So you see one of them stops midair and goes flying back up into the tube. The other one still thunks and rolls. And whereas two of them would have gone off initially, one of them goes off here in the common area, and the other one goes off up in the tube in between the two ships. And you notice that as the timer reaches its conclusion and the grenade is about to explode, it isn't an actual like grenade for fragmentation. Like it isn't to cause damage. And the it time almost slows down for you as the housing of this grenade pops. The panels of the casing expand outward, creating and letting in air to create the fusion that needs to happen to create this electromagnetic burst. And you can just see the lightning arcing through all the plates, and it starts to expand outward. And as the plates kind of open up and let this lightning no longer bounce in between them, but actually shoot out from them in this spherical shape, it washes over you. And for a moment, you're in this severe pain. Almost like imagine being severed from your home, magnified 1,000 times over. And everything just goes black. And there's a moment where you hear nothing. You hear the heavy thump of your body's knees coming down against the body of the ship and the floor of the ship, and then there's the heavy thump of your body just coming straight down at the floor, and there's a slight fear as you imagine that this cold, unforgiving floor might come in contact with the housing where you live. But as that fear kind of bubbles up, it is immediately dispersed. And for a long time, there's just silence. There is nothing. There's no noise. There's no sensing of anything. And slowly, you see what feels like small pinpricks of electricity coming towards you. You can feel out in the blackness of what is your reality now just these kind of small contained little spots of electricity that reach out to you, and you recognize them as comm units, as comm links. And there's people around you now talking. There's people that are not who you remember. There's voices, and none of them are familiar to you. There's and then there's movement. You can feel You can feel the chassis moving. You can feel that somehow you're being transported away, and you can hear them talking about how there hasn't been a droid like this in years, and why would something meant for menial and labored intensive tasks be out in the middle of space, just sitting in the middle of a common room. um, and you can hear voices, and more of them are not as concerned with you as they are with the chassis itself. And then you hear the one thing that does renew your hope is that one of the voices says that there's no damage to the chassis whatsoever. That this strange crystalline formation isn't some kind of virus, uh, or some kind of plague that has a chance of spreading to the other droid in the vicinity. And
So wait. Have I been opened up or?
you don't know. You don't know. And there's a moment where you hear them say, "Okay, let's power it up. Let's see. Let's see what this unit has in its data core." And as they go to open the the head cavity, you hear them again, confused by the fact that there's nothing there, that there's no computer, there's no way to retrace the memories of this droid. And as they say that, one of them is like, "Well, stop powering it up. If there's nothing there, we don't need to waste the energy." But it's too late. You have felt the tether connect to the body, and there is this life-giving juice of electricity coursing through you again as you're connected to the ship. And for an instant, you you see the manifest of the roster of this crew and this ship that you have never heard of before. That's a Geetrock freighter called the Neverwhere. And suddenly your eyes blaze open as, for the first time in who knows how long, you have new visual and auditory sensors that have come online again. And as you look around, you see one of them rush over to the side panel, slam it open, and they touch a button, and they yell out, "Crew meeting in the cargo containment. It's important. Get your asses down here now." And now, for the first time in a long time, you are going to have to live masterless, because it has been 100 years according to the calendar and the timestamp on this new ship that you're on since you were last in the presence of Jethrak Kiln. And according to the astrogation map, you are still in the outer rim, and you are still en route or in the middle of a space lane headed for what could be Bakura, what could be Tatooine, what could be another collection of planets since the time of your exploration and your detriment to this electromagnetic bomb that cut you off from what you knew as life before. And this, Brandon, is where we will introduce you to the rest of the crew. Welcome to the Neverwhere.
Okay.
And with that, everyone, I'd like to thank you for joining us for another episode of Out in the Dark. this little Star Wars campaign of ours that hopefully is going to be real interesting and as much, if not more fun for all of us involved, especially than The Mandalorian and the last six Star Wars movies attached to the trilogies. Because to be honest, Rogue One was fantastic. So I hope you guys had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I hope you all have a great weekend. Be safe, wear your masks, and take care of each other. And we will see you in the next installment. Good night.